Hello and welcome to this episode of the Diverge Podcast. It's all about Ride Joburg and Kim Lecourt and Jaedon Terlouw's victories in the 2025 edition, the 28th running of the race, and a fantastic and thrilling edition it was too. Kim Lecourt storming to victory, going solo with 15 kilometers to go and taking the race by the scruff of the neck. Jaedon Terlouw in the men's race, a little bit more tactical, proved to be one of the top three climbers on the day, got away in a select group with Gibbons and Marc Pritzen, and then outboxed them with maybe a little bit of a dodgy sprint. But we'll dive all into that now. The men's race, Ride Joburg this year, it's always kind of a little bit of a slow start to proceedings with that downhill. Doesn't really make sense for any of the big guns to launch any attacks there. So it was fairly controlled. The top two teams, or the most represented teams there, Janolo Pro Cycling and Honeycomb 226s, put men in the break. Jaco van Dijk, in particular, out there working hard for Honeycomb 226s, just sort of taking the pressure off Marc Pritzen and the other guys in the peloton by getting up the road. They had about a 30-second lead at the halfway mark on the Kalani racetrack. When they turned, came back up the hill, that's when we headed south again. That's when it all started to kick off and the racing really sharpened up, got serious. Group of 8 riders managed to get away there, including in that group were the eventual race winner, Jaedon Terlouw. Marc Pritzen was there as well, as was Ryan Gibbons. A few other big names. And Kent Main was also in that group. Eventually that group got whittled down from 8 to 4. Kent Main was the sort of the fourth rider in the group. He dropped before they reached the top of that last steep kicker on Jan Smuts. That left just Jaedon Terlouw, Ryan Gibbons and Marc Pritzen in the running for victory. Coming into the finish, the last 10 Ks, the three of them worked well together, held off the chasers, actually created a bit of a gap on the climb and then extended it over those last 10 Ks, rolling through nicely. It was only in the last kilometer that they started to play cat and mouse once victory was all but secured for those three. The podium places were secured for those three. Coming into the finish, new, more technical run into the finish with some twists and turns in it, and Jaedon Terlouw dove down the inside of Ryan Gibbons. And as you'll hear Jaedon explaining, was a little bit of a dodgy move. He admitted Ryan Gibbons threw his hand up in frustration at the move, but then afterwards was pretty magnanimous about it. You could see he had more to say, but he didn't say it. So there was no protest, and Jaedon was declared the victor. It's a race that Jaedon has said earlier on in the year, actually at Cape Pioneer, when he was at the Cape Pioneer, he said it was a race that he felt he could win. I think a little bit tougher, the finale, and then more technical run-in, even with the old run-in, was a little bit more technical than the Cape Town Cycle Tours run-in, which maybe favors the pure sprinters, the pure road sprinters more than it does Jaedon, even though he has podiumed at the Cape Town Cycle Tour before as well. But taking the victory in the 2025 Ride Joburg, a stellar result for him. 200,000 Rand there as well, the prize for the winner. 75,000 Rand going to Ryan Gibbons. Nice little retirement bonus there for Ryan, and 25k to Marc Pritzen of Honeycomb 226s across the line in third. And here is Jaedon with his rundown of the day's proceedings and that risky sprint.
Yeah, this is incredible. It's probably the biggest win of my career, and thank you to also all my family and friends, and obviously my girlfriend as well for all the support over the years, and my team as well. It was special. I appreciate it. And yeah, it was a crazy race. First half of the race is as usual. As soon as we hit the climb, I don't know exactly what it's called, but the one that just like ramps up, and obviously everyone started going ham there. Yeah, and then towards the top of the climb, there were only 3 of us left, and we just basically rolled, and we worked well together to the end, and it came down to a sprint. Yeah, it was a super dodgy sprint, and I don't know if it was a bit of a dodgy move that I pulled, but I sent it on the inside of Ryan, and like I was bouncing on these half cobble bricks, and I almost had to use the side curb as a berm because it was that close. But yeah, ended up a good move. Absolutely insane. I don't know if I knew that I was going to do that, I probably wouldn't have done it because it was that dodgy. But it worked out really well this time, and yeah, can't complain.
In the women's race, it was all about Kim LaCourt, really. Everybody that tried something else was kind of trying to neutralize Kim's strengths, really. And though it looked like Magda Nieuwoudt had got away with a really smart move, managed to get away on her own, in the end, yeah, it was the Kim LaCourt show, and you can't begrudge her. She's had a fantastic season, 7 victories this year, including a double in the Mauritian Championships, time trial and road race. And of course, that Tour de France stage win and 4 days in the yellow jersey at the Tour de France Femme. So a great way for Kim to end the season. Similarly to the men's race, sort of a bit of a slow and cagey start to proceedings until they got to Killarney, and then it all heated up. And Lisa Bowen was the first woman to go on the offensive there. She's the Mzansi Series, National Series leader, going into Ride Joburg. So she was on fine form. She tried to make things tough, took the Queen of the Mountain prize at the 58-kilometer mark, but then was quickly reabsorbed into the group, which was being whittled down. And then Magda Nieuwoudt went on the attack. She's a triathlete, doesn't normally race road races, only her second road race. But she kind of knew that her strengths were going to be to go out hard on those climbs, get out there on her own and just ride her own pace and try and ride it faster than anybody else, really, or hope that the group behind would look at each other. And that's kind of what happened. The gap, Nieuwoudt's advantage, went out from 30 seconds to a minute to 1 minute 50 at its maximum. But then Kim took the race by the scruff of the neck, started reducing that gap. And when she got close, she launched, surged clear of the group, surged past Nieuwoudt and into the lead. With 15 kilometers to go, she was leading, and from there she just rode solo to the finish, and won by 79 seconds in the end. Lucy Young was second, also passing Magda Nieuwoudt on the road. Magda Nieuwoudt then hang on to take third ahead of the fast finishing group, which had Vera Laza and Tyler Jacobs in it. So Vera taking fourth after not having her best day, but battling through and coming away with a decent result at the end of it. Good result for Tyler Jacobs as well. She has a fast finish, so it's unsurprising to see her finishing so well out of a reduced group as well at the end of the year. But as I said, it was the Kim LaCourt show, and here's Kim with her rundown of how the day panned out.
Yeah, I mean, like I said in the beginning, I just didn't know what to come into. I'm really tired. It's been a really long season for me. I decided to come here mainly to show face, be with the girls and ride with some familiar faces that I haven't ridden in years. And I think it's important to reconnect with the country and with the people and try and inspire, the young girls. And the race, it was somehow, a bit slow in the beginning. Like really, I suppose, big teams had teammates in the front, so I was just banging on the climbs, and hopefully I can make a difference there, which I did. I just put my pace on the climb and I managed to get a gap, and I just kept it. Yeah, I think it was some attacks from Vera and things like that, but I think it was just not necessary to make attacks there, especially in the first 30 Ks. you're not going to get anything out of it, and especially in downhills and stuff, it's pretty easy for the second, third wheel to follow. So it was, I wouldn't say negative, but the teams were playing their tactics and they were playing their cards, which I think they were playing it correctly. I suppose some other teams could have made some work, but I just trusted in my abilities on the climbs towards the end, and luckily I could make a difference. Yeah. It's completely different. First of all, the bunch is half here, but I wasn't really here to compare the racing there and here. I knew it was going to be very different. I was just mainly here to enjoy myself and, like I said, reconnect with the girls. And there are some really good talent out there in the bunch, and I'm really impressed with some of the girls, and they made huge steps from when I used to race in South Africa and used to be based here, so it's pretty cool to see. And I hope I can try and inspire more girls to get the opportunity and the courage to actually chase their dreams, because it is possible if you just don't give up.
That's it for this special edition on the Ride Joburg. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time. Cheers.